All right. The man, the myth, the legend himself, the mayor of San Francisco, Daniel Lurie joining us now on the River Islands guest line. Mayor, good morning. Joe Spadoni alongside Joe Shasky. And the big news this morning, the San Francisco Giants are going to be hosting the All-Star Game at Oracle Park in a couple of years, 2028. Fantastic news.
Let's go. 23 months away. Never too early to start planning. A great announcement this morning. Great for our city, great for our region, and it's a good day here in San Francisco.
Hey, Dan the man, what is up? I saw you at Outside Lands. You were with Gary Payton? What?
I'm still recovering. I am not young anymore, but I went all 3 days. Really, Friday I really went just to make sure our teams who did an incredible job, all of our city teams, Rec and Park, Muni, police, sheriffs, everybody. I just wanted to make sure we were set. And then Saturday I spent some time there from 6 o'clock on, saw the Strokes and saw I saw Geese on Friday.
Nice.
Strokes Saturday, and then Sunday, I went there to introduce the San Francisco Gay Men's Chorus, who were amazing. They kicked off the day on the main stage, and then I stayed till 10 p.m.
Oh, my goodness.
I brought my daughter came later in the day, so I just stuck it out, saw Death Cab for Cutie, and then and just walked around the festival. It was great. It was great.
So while you've been mayor, I want to make sure I write this down. And some of it, obviously predates you, but you've been, involved in all this. A Super Bowl, the World Cup, multiple Outside Lands, an NBA All-Star Game, and now a Major League All-Star Game. Am I missing anything? Because that's incredible.
Yeah. We have more to come. I'll tease that we got another exciting announcement next week. So we're going to just keep going. We're going to build on this momentum. It's really important for our tourism industry. Our conventions are up this year. 2 years ago, we had 25 conventions at Moscone. This year, we have 35. And next year we're going to have more. So we're just going to keep leaning in because, I know there's lots of talk, understandably, about AI and tech, but tourism has always been our number one industry, and it continues to be. And when you have these amazing sporting events, it creates jobs, it creates revenue, it helps us, fix up those playing fields for our kids. It helps us run a strong transit. So I look at this is so much fun, and it's good for jobs and the working people of our city.
So what has gone into the Major League Baseball All-Star Game? Because I want to ask you about kind of some of the fields and stuff that you're bringing up. I went to a meeting last week, but in the All-Star Game, build up, because they've been talking about the Olympics and getting this over here, because I guess the Olympics are going to try to be in LA. How long have you been working on this?
Well, listen, I know the Giants have been working on this for a while, and then I met the commissioner at opening day, and we talked about this and the possibility. And of course, I made our pitch. The Giants have been working hard on this, and so we said, listen, this is a city on the rise. It's safe, it's clean, and it's a place that hasn't had an All-Star game. I think was it 2007?
Yeah.
This is the greatest city in the country, and we deserve your big game. And so it was a series of conversations. I know the Giants got it started. They introduced me to the commissioner on opening day, and then the commissioner and I had a conversation or two since then. And we've been pushing in the background, but the Giants just did, they have the best ballpark in the country. It's not a hard sell to sell the greatest city. And I'm really excited to partner with MLB and appreciate the commissioner giving us this nod.
I'm so glad you brought that up. I've been working kind of behind the scenes with the Giants, and I know you know some of this stuff. And basically Jack Bear and Matt and Drew and all the people with the Giants, they want to help, give a bunch of money to Park and Rec and rebuild some of the fields out at Crocker Park. And there's been, I think, a lot of misinformation regarding some of the stuff. And I think there's been some stuff that's not accurate regarding tree removal. And, I think there's actually going to be more trees planted in the proposal.
There's going to be more trees. That's right. There's going to be more trees there than there are currently.
Exactly.
And listen, I went to a community meeting with the supervisor out there a couple of weeks ago, and people have strong feelings,
sure.
and I get it. I understand. I remember this debate about Beach Chalet, and there is a lot of information. Oh, you're just doing this in this neighborhood. Well, we're actually doing it in many neighborhoods all over the city because it gets our kids out there. It gets them moving 365 days a year. We need our kids active. We need them, off their screens. We need them building up what comes with team sports.
Yep.
And by the way, we've sat down with community and we've listened, and I think prior we had more turf fields.
Yep.
We've dropped that number down. We've added another grass field. So the community has had a lot of input, and understandably, there's some people that don't want any change or anything new, or just think turf is terrible. And I think the studies prove otherwise.
Yeah, totally agree. They've made major quantum leaps in the turf technology. It's infinitely safer than it's ever been. Doesn't use water. We're not using natural resources. The park is obvious. The Park and Recs people are obviously endorsing the project, and they want this. My mom and dad, I've lived in that neighborhood my whole life. My dad used to hit me ground balls on that field. That field has been unsafe for a long time. It's impossible to fix. And the best thing, the Excelsior, the Sunnydale, Crocker Park neighborhood ever did was renovate those soccer fields. It cleaned it up. It made it safer. It's been used 24/7, 365. And I'm really happy that you're wrapping both arms around this because, your son plays baseball. We've been on the field on some fields that, are just inadequate, and we can't do anything about it as a community.
I told you, I played on those fields.
I know.
I played baseball at Crocker.
I know.
And it was terrible, and it's still not good. And I actually had a young a boy come up to me at this community meeting and said, "Would you let your kids play on these turf fields that you're talking about?" And I said to him, listen, the families, they're getting some information that you and I disagree with. I said, my kid does play on the field. My kid, he goes out and plays soccer at Crocker all the time, and it is incredible. I think that community brings so many San Franciscans together.
Yes.
And people say, "Oh, you're just doing this out there." Oh, no, I'll take you to fields across the city in every neighborhood that now has more life, more action. I think it's going to be good for the neighborhood. It's going to bring more people to the local small businesses to get their coffee or their sandwich during, a game. And so, I'm a huge proponent of it. We've taken in the considerations of the neighborhood and those that are opposed to it. And there's always going to be people opposed, and I get that, and that's their right. But we're gonna after listening to having a lot of community meetings, where there's going to be more trees, these turf fields are going to be great, and we're going to have some really good grass fields now too.
Heck yeah. And, I know the Polynesia community that plays a lot of cricket is endorsing it. Look, I'm looking this for my mom and all the older people to still have a place to walk and take their dogs. My son to eventually play on it. He's 2.5 right now. And so I'm with you. All right, Mayor, let's get into some other stuff because I appreciate you diverting into that. Niners last night. Were you and your son watching the game? Were you pumped up seeing Deshaun Stribling? Looked pretty good.
I caught the highlights. We did not watch. I was still out, out at meetings and doing work last night. But I heard Stribling looked great, and the reports that I had been getting from camp from some well placed sources said he had looked good in training camp. So that's really exciting, and it was also good to see Coach on the sidelines. I'm glad he's improving and getting better. And, the team, how fired up are we for football? It's back. It's back. I have a friend that's a Raiders fan. He was paying attention to every single play of their preseason game. I was like, you're focused on the wrong team. But other than that, it's great to have NFL back.
It was great to have you back on the River Islands guest line, Mr. Mayor. Thank you so much for your time this morning, man. And let's do it again soon.